Susan B. Anthony is widely known as the leader of the suffrage movement. Her efforts, and those of the suffragettes, were instrumental in allowing women the vote in 1919. However, long before women won their fight to vote, she was often heard extolling the rights of all women. In 1877, long before women had voting privileges, she was promoting the rights and dignity of a single woman. The history of the early 20th century and prior are littered with the opinions of men. It's not hard to find written speeches and letters or opinions written by men. Women, on the other hand, were not nearly as recorded or transcribed with the same fervor as their male counterparts. As a result, obtaining a woman's point of view in the 19th century world is still something of a challenge. Susan B. Anthony was one woman who helped change all that. And here to perform an excerpt from Susan B. Anthony's Homes of Single Women is Mollie Toscano.
A home of one's own is the want, the necessity of every human being, the one thing above all others longed for, worked for. Whether the humblest cottage or the proudest palace, a home of our own is the soul's dream of rest, the one hope that will not die until we have reached the very portals of the everlasting home. Probably none of us will attempt to question the superiority of the time-honored plan of making a home by the union of one man and one woman in marriage. But in a country like ours, where such considerable numbers of men, from choice or necessity, fail to establish matrimonial homes, there is no way of escape. Vast numbers of women must make homes for themselves or forego them altogether. In Massachusetts alone, there are today 70,000 more women than men. It has been said that the man of the 19th century insists upon having for a wife a woman of the 17th century. It is perhaps nearer the truth to say that he demands the spirit of the 2 centuries combined in one woman, the activity and liberality of thought which characterize the present era, with the submission to authority which belongs to the past. In woman's transition from this position of subject to sovereign, there must needs to be an era of self-sustained, self-supported homes, where her freedom and equality shall be unquestioned. Mary Clemmer very truly says, the secret of the rare material success which attended the Carey sisters is to be found in the fact that from the first they began to make a home. The sisters were deeply interested in the cause of equal rights to all, and the subject of women's enfranchisement was frequently the topic of conversation. While at the time Mr. Greeley, almost always present, advocated warmly the right of women to equal educational and industrial advantages, he stoutly opposed their demand for suffrage. It was his habit to say, "The best women I know do not want to vote." The charming Alice would as often put the question to each of the distinguished women at the table, "Do you want to vote, Miss Booth?" "Yes." And "Do you want to vote, Mrs. Allen?" "Yes." "Do you want to vote, Mrs. Dickinson?" "Yes." And each and every one of it as invariably replied, "Yes." Yet at the very next reception, Mr. Greeley would again repeat his stereotype settler of the question. He died in the delusion that the best women do not want to vote. The charm of all these women's homes is that their owners are settled in life, that the men, young or old, who visited them, no more count their hostesses' chances in the matrimonial market than when guests in the homes of the most happily married women. Men go to these homes as they do to their gentlemen's clubs, to talk of art, science, politics, religion, and reform. They go to meet their equals in the proud domain of intellect, laying aside, for their time being at least, all of their conventional small talk for the ladies. But say you, all these beautiful homes are made by exceptional women, the few women of superior intellect, rare genius, or masculine executive ability that enables them to rise above the environments of sex, to lean on themselves for support and protection, to amass wealth, to win honors and emoluments. They are not halves needing compliments, as are the masses of women, but evenly balanced, well-rounded characters. Therefore, are they models to be reached by the average women we every day meet.
We hope you're enjoying our show. If you'd like to support BTC, go to www.brewstertheater.org.